Hey, Maddie. So last week was the first playoff appearance in Grand Oaks history.
Woo woo!
So are we going to get into it right now or make them wait?
You guys are gonna have to wait.
Hey guys, welcome
What's
back
up,
to
y'all?
episode 4 of Finish the Batter Recruits. Man, we are so excited to have you here again. We cannot wait to get into the action today for you.
Awesome. So guys, remember, if you guys want to be a part of the lineup and be a part of the action, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell so you guys
Click
never
it.
miss any of our content.
Hey guys, as always on this show, we're going to cover travel ball for you, high school ball. We're even going to cover college ball and recruiting as a whole.
Absolutely. And we're also going to cover like my recruiting journey, just everything that I went through with that. Also, we're going to bring people in, a special guest to talk about their recruiting journey and everything they went through also.
That's awesome. Hey guys, so we're going to start right now with the best of 3 by district series you guys played against Spring last Friday.
That was awesome.
It was amazing, guys. The atmosphere was incredible, and you can definitely tell the difference between the atmosphere of a regular season game and a playoff game.
Dude, playoffs is so fun. Like, we had everyone dressed up in the dugout. Like, we even had swords that we were, like, the little plastic swords or the foam ones that we were banging on the side of the dugout that match our colors. We had headbands. We had bandanas. We had everything you can imagine was in our dugout. And we had, like, these, like, bottle shakers with, like, beads in them. And then, like, we had cowbells. And we even had maracas. We had maracas.
Yeah, and I can tell you guys, the parents were amazing on our side. They came out, we were fired up, guys. We were expecting to win.
Yeah, we were.
The thing is that it honestly, I think, put Spring in a hole early. So yeah, so I know some parents on that side, and they were shocked at what all we came with.
Oh my gosh, we had so many things.
And honestly, and no offense to them, but I don't think they expected it. They showed up like it was a regular season game. We didn't.
No.
And the players fed off of it. With everything that was going on in the stands, with all the parents having fat heads and all these things, it basically put Spring on the defensive. We were, shaking
absolutely.
everything, and you could tell it kind of rattled them a little bit, and it kind of put them in a hole, not just on the scoreboard, but mentally as well. We go on the first inning. They have a pass ball, which led to a run, and then a 2 RBI double by Avery Pemberton. She was hot in this game. Puts us up 3-0.
Absolutely. And then in the second inning, Courtney Bellinger hits a 2-out triple, and she scored on a pass ball to make the score 4-0.
And that was a shot, too.
Absolutely.
In the third, Avery again comes up, scored on an error, and Allie Agabush hits an RBI single to put you guys up 6-0.
And then in the fourth inning, we had bases loaded, and then Allie got hit in the helmet, and then they score, and then which puts us up 7-0.
Once you guys were up 7-0, you could really feel that at that point, if Spring didn't do something, that game was going to get out of hand.
Yeah, we thought we could have run ruled.
Yeah, yeah, it was getting to that point. But as they say, big time players show up in big time games.
Absolutely.
And I tell you what, Spring's best player not only on their team but in the series, Kaylin Jackson, who's committed to UTEP. She hit a triple that was a bomb.
It was a shot. No doubt. I thought it was going over the fence, but
yeah. But she got the donut off the scoreboard for them because they had a runner in scoring position. And then at the bottom of the inning, we get the run back. JC Mead reached on an error and later scored on a pass ball, making it 8-1. And that's one thing I noticed about the series was they had a lot of pass balls.
Yeah, they did.
They had a lot of pass balls that led to like 4 or 5 runs in the series. You take away those pass balls,
it's a closer game.
It's a closer series.
Also, too, they had a lot of errors in the infield. Not so much the outfield, but the infield had a lot of like routine ground ball errors, throwing errors, and just things like that. You take away those errors, and that could have been a pretty close game, Awesome. So also in that same inning, Morgan Yeager ran through first base on an errant throw by Jada Williams and collided hard with Ella.
Yeah, when I saw Ella go down, my heart sunk. What was going through your mind?
I was scared. As you guys know, Ella and I play on the same select team, and I was freaking out. My teammates in the dugout, they were like, "Oh, Morgan, keep going," and I just stopped and prayed. Could you not? Had my hands like this on my head with my knees on the ground, with my head on the end of the dugout, and I was praying because I didn't know. I saw what happened, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never know how the bodies collided. You never know. You just don't know. And so I was freaking out because Ella was holding her arm. It was crazy, and she ended up hyperextending her elbow, and so it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but I was really scared.
Bottom line through all this is, when you play high school ball, you're playing with a lot of girls you know. You're playing against a lot of the girls you know, and you're also playing against girls that are on your select team. So seeing these girls collide like that and going down, and you could tell she was in a lot of pain. As a parent and as a friend of her dad, who's also your coach, my heart sunk, and it was one of those things where I thought, just be okay, because regardless, in the end, this game means nothing.
Yeah.
Because she has a future in softball, and so that was the big issue with me, is just be okay. So once we got through that, and that took a few minutes to sort that out. In the 6th inning, no one scored. 3 up, 3 down both ways. We go to the 7th, and you could feel the air kind of thickening a little bit.
I was getting a little nervous.
Spring was threatening. They had the bases loaded. They were down 8-2. Jada Williams hits a single up the middle. And as I said before, big-time players make big-time plays.
Absolutely.
Savannah Pemberton throws a dart to Maddie at home plate for the final out. But before Maddie describes it, guys, you need to watch it, so here it is.
With this win, the Grizzlies secure their first ever playoff win in softball program history and take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-3 playoff series. Reminder, Game 2 is set for tomorrow night. First pitch, 6 o'clock at Spring High School. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Please drive safe and good night.
All right, Maddie, so we're back. So describe that play from your point of view.
Craziest play ever. It was so awesome. As you guys saw, bases loaded. This girl was running home, and I knew, because in practice, Savannah's throws are usually always on point, always on target. So I knew that this throw was about to be right to me. This throw was right to me. I tagged this girl out, look at the umpire, and he goes, ow! And I was like, whoa! Like, it was so cool. You always see these plays on TV and stuff, but like whenever you're in the middle of it and you're in that play and you're ready to go, I mean, it's a different experience. It's so crazy. Like, I was so happy that we got to experience that as a team together.
Yeah, it was great. We obviously went nuts in the stands. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And even if you watch Jada Williams at the end of that video again, she holds her head on her helmet.
Yeah, she was
I felt bad for her, because she did her job. She got the hit, and it didn't work. I mean, they sent the runner home, and that ended the game for them. But it's one of those things where in playoff games, every run counts, and you guys came through when you needed to, and that out was huge, and it was so fun.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's talk about Game 2 now. Due to the weather, they moved the game back to our field, but this time we were the visiting team.
Because it was supposed to be at their field originally, so they were supposed to be home, so we just moved it.
So I will say this, that the Spring parents made sure that they brought their shakers and they brought their noisemakers, and that really made the difference for their team. I'll say that.
Absolutely, yep.
Their girls came out fired up, and it was good, because it made for a pretty good game all the way around.
Yeah, for sure.
Top of the first inning, JC Meade comes up, hits a huge line drive triple to the corner.
Huge line drive.
It was great. And then she scores on an RBI by Courtney Bellinger. In the bottom of the inning, Spring didn't put any runs on the board.
And then no one scored in the 2nd inning or the 3rd, but Spring had plenty of chances in those innings to put some runs on the board, but couldn't get them across.
Yeah, they had base runners. I mean, Kate was pitching well, but they were hitting. They were putting the ball in play, and they had their shot. I mean, they had their chances in this game in the early innings too.
I mean, they had lots of base runners. Their hits were just like not when runners were on base, which is unfortunately not how the game works.
And then Spring's most valuable player in that series, Kaylin Jackson, who's committed to UTEP, as I said earlier, she hit into an error with an RBI, tying it, and then Jada Williams hit an RBI single to take a 2-1 lead. So at this point, like I said, they could have had a 5-1 lead or a 6-1 lead, but they couldn't get any runs across in that earlier inning, and that made a difference late in the game, and we'll get into it. So it was the 5th inning where your bats finally woke up in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, they were dead for 4 innings.
Yep.
But the 5th inning is where you guys woke up. You want to explain that one?
Yeah, so Morgan Yeager and Avery Pemberton both scored on pass balls, and then Courtney hit an RBI triple, and then Kate Dunbar hit a RBI single to make the score 5-2 going into the bottom of the 5th.
At this point, you could really feel the momentum swing our way, and Spring had trouble matching that intensity at that point. However, in the bottom of the 5th, Bella De Los Santos, she's a really good player, really good hitter, really good pitcher as well. She hit an RBI double, cutting the lead to 5-3.
Yep.
And then the top of the inning, 6th inning, we didn't score.
Nope.
We had 3 up, 3 down. In the bottom, guess who? Kaylin Jackson.
Yep.
She comes up and hits a solo bomb to cut the lead 5-4.
Yep, and at this point, they were pretty pumped. I mean, they were screaming, their parents were rattling. I mean, and us in the field, we were like, oh, we need to step it up. You know, like it's like whenever we come back to hit, like we need to step it up. So then,
And us as parents in the stands, we're like, we don't want to play a third game.
yeah, no, 'cause
We knew the weather was coming in too.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to play a third game.
We would have to play a doubleheader that day just because it rained the day before. And so then in the top of the 7th, Avery hit a huge shot because we had 2 runners on base, and then she made the score to be 7-4.
So
That was
and
a
then,
big hit.
And the bottom of the inning for spring was uneventful. They couldn't get anybody on base.
Nope.
Here's the final out that won by districts for us. So Maddie, anything you want to add to wrap up the spring series?
Just that I'm really proud of our team. I'm so proud that we came out with all that energy, fired up and everything.
Yeah.
Also, super happy that our parents were so supportive. Like, for instance, they came, the moms, like my mom, Carissa, JC's mom, and Allie's mom, they came and decorated the locker room. And it was crazy. Like, there were streamers, posters. I mean, we were so excited for playoffs. I mean, it's the first time in Grand Oaks history, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was such a crazy time, and I'm just so thankful that we won that series. So.
Yeah, and it was so much fun watching them. I mean, you could tell the girls were into it, the parents were into it. It was a great atmosphere, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yep.
Hey guys, so yeah, next up, it's Klein Collins, the area round of the playoffs, and we are so excited.
I'm so excited. I think it's going to be a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's a 1-game playoff, guys. 1 game, win or go home. That's it. And I'm not a huge fan of that format, but that's okay. That's what the coaches decided on, and that's what we have to go with. And guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy.
Absolutely.
The stands are going to be packed. We're playing at Humboldt High School at a neutral field, so you know that there's going to be plenty of Collins fans and plenty of Grand Oaks fans. So right now we're going to take a look at a few players on the roster. Start off with Savannah Carter, who has pitched well for them all season. She's also hitting well. She leads their team, I believe, and Klein District in home runs.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure she's a freshman, and she also pitched against us during fall ball for high school fall ball. She did very well. Also, Lorelei, who's pitched, also she had a big homer in their 1-game playoff against Cy Ranch that put their game away for sure.
Yeah, and then they have Kylie Jacks. That's their leadoff hitter. She plays a lot like JC Meade does for us. She's a difference maker and she's a tone setter, and so she's one to watch for as well. Yeah, Klein Collins, guys, is always tough. They come to play every single game.
Yep, they made it to the state championships 2 years ago.
Yeah, this game will be no different. And I'm going to tell you this right now: if you guys wait till the 5th inning to start hitting again, it's going to be a short game.
Yeah, I mean, we have to jump on them early, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure we might be visitor, and so I mean, we need to jump on them early for sure.
Yeah, my big thing is you guys just hit. You guys put the ball in play and get those runners across, because that's how you're going to win this game, because they're going to come to hit.
Absolutely.
All right, so now we're going to look at the other teams on our side of the bracket, and as always, they're going to be right here for you so you can see. We'll start with Bridgeland, who beat your pick, Klein Cain.
Yeah, darn.
They now play Oak Ridge. I'm going with Oak Ridge.
I'm going with Bridgeland.
Ooh, Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yep.
She's going with Bridgeland. It's going to be a good game. It will be. That is actually a 3-game series.
Yep.
I might have to sneak over there if we can and watch a little bit of that.
Yep.
Then Lake Ridge plays Wiley. Who are you going with?
I'm going with Lake Ridge.
Lake Ridge, okay. I'm going to actually go with Wiley on this one, so we're kind of split right now.
Yep.
So then we got Rockwall playing Mansfield.
I'm going with Mansfield.
Are you? I'm going to go with Mansfield in this one too. Then your travel teammate, Kelsey Brown.
Yep, she plays for Klein.
And your teammate from a few years ago, KK.
She also plays for Klein too. They're going to be playing the Woodlands, and I'm going with Klein.
Ooh.
Klein is cold, and yeah, Kelsey and KK, you guys better win because I'm going for you.
I'll be honest.
So
I'm going with Woodlands. I think they've just got too much firepower for Klein, but that's just me. Then we've got Cy Woods playing Willis. I'm going to stick with Willis. I think our district is strong,
Yep.
and I think that's going to show in these playoffs.
no, I'm also sticking with Willis because their pitcher is very good. She's, like I said in a couple videos ago, she's one of those pitchers that will throw you the pitch you don't like, and she'll stick with that. So, I mean, they're going to have a tough time hitting off of her. So
Then we've got Rockwall Heath playing Midway. Who you got?
Midway.
Do you? All right, I'm going to go with Rockwall Heath. I'm going to go with that one. Then we've got Brian, who's very good, playing Soxy. Who you got?
I like Soxy. Let's go with that.
We're just split this week.
Yeah.
I'm going with Brian. So can't wait to see the turnout of these series come next week on next week's show. All right, guys, so that's all the content we have for today's show. Let's talk about next week's show. We have a special announcement coming.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so awesome, guys. Make sure you tune into the next episode for that amazing announcement.
Special announcement. Tune in.
Awesome. So we're going to recap the area playoff game against Klein Collins. That's going to be a crazy game. So excited about that. And then we're also going to look ahead to the Illusion Showcase and Lago Vista.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
Make sure you like the video. If you have any comments, you want to make picks, comment down below.
Absolutely. If you guys want to see anybody or anyone or whoever on this show, make sure you comment that down below also.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and
That's
the ball game.
Bye.
Bye.